Hi guys, and welcome to the Photography Accelerator Workshop. My name's Luke and today we are in Paignton, which is in Devon in England. And what we're going to do is we're going to be photographing the pier, which you can see just behind me. What I really like about piers is they create a natural lead line leading your eye from the front of the picture all the way to the back. And this is that we're going to utilize. So we're going to give it a go and see how we get on. As always, the first things first, before I start photographing, clicking away, is I like to spend a couple of moments working out what it is that I really like about the scene I'm going to capture, and also work out the things that I don't like and the things I can correct during the photographic process. So obviously, as I just mentioned before, I really like the lead line, I like the depth that adds to an image, but I also like the uprights on the pier, the columns, the supporting the pier. See, what that does is it's a diminishing perspective, so each upright gets smaller and smaller, and therefore it tells me that that goes into the distance. A natural way of adding depth to an image. Now, some of the things you've got to be careful about with this shot is there's a lot of colour with the yellow and the cream, and it can be quite distracting, so there's got to be a way that we can minimise that, or hopefully when we take the shot it won't be too obvious. And that's something I'm going to keep my eye out for. When it comes to camera settings, I'm going to be shooting in full manual mode, and I'm going to be prioritising aperture. So that's the first setting I'm going to set on my camera, and I'm probably going to set it to around about f14 because that gives me a maximum depth of field without losing too much quality in the shot with diffraction. Then I'm probably going to be shooting on ISO 400. The reason being is there's a bit of cloud in the sky, so it's not a super bright day, so 400 will be a good setting for my ISO. And then when it comes to shutter speed, well, that's whatever it has to be to get a perfectly exposed shot. The only thing I'm going to be keeping an eye out is making sure my shutter speed isn't too slow, so there's a risk of a blurry photo. So let's take some shots and see how we get on. I'm just doing my cheeky setup here. The reason why it's cheeky is I'm trying to shoot as slow a shutter speed as possible, hoping to get a slight bit of movement from the sea while not using a tripod, and trying to get away with it on a day that's far too bright for shooting on too slow a shutter speed without using a filter of some sort. So what I've done, if you look here, I've got my bag, got my camera on my bag, and what I'm trying to do is I'm setting up my camera on 1/15 of a second, so that's a pretty slow shutter speed, and what happens is the shot comes overexposed. But what it also does is there should be enough information, and that's what I need to check, that I can pull it back in post-processing and retain a lot of information and hopefully get a bit of movement in the sea as well. I've just been reviewing some of the photos, and actually I think I've just got away with it. There's just enough information in the shot that when I pull back the sliders to make it darker, there should be enough information there to pull out the details. So you've got to be a bit careful. It's a little bit risky because you can easily overexpose a shot and have no information in your file, and then you can't do anything with the shot. But I think I'm just about okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to play around with the shutter speed, making it slightly faster, slightly slower, so hopefully I've got the perfect shutter speed with the perfect exposure that I can then post-process in Photoshop and Lightroom. So far so good. I'm happy with the shots I've taken so far. What I'm going to do is find another angle to take another shot of the pier from and see how that works out. So let's get to it. Found my next shot. So the first shot was a lead line leading your eye from left to right, adding that depth to the shot. The second shot is all going to be based on symmetry, and hopefully I can get a diminishing perspective with the cross braces supporting the pier. I'm going to stand directly in the middle and shoot all the way down the pier, and hopefully the architecture of the pier would be enough to create a really interesting shot. Now, some things I need to be wary of. Well, under the pier the light levels are dropped, so my camera settings are going to have to be changed slightly to get more light into the lens. So what I might do is I might increase the ISO. That'd be a way to create more light into the camera. The other option I can do is make the shutter speed slower, but just keep in mind that I can't make it too slow because there's a risk of a blurry shot. So I've got two options there, and I'll see which one I get on with just before I take the shot. So let's give it a go and see how we get on. There you have it, two of my favourite compositional techniques, lead lines and symmetry. When you start looking for them, you realise they're everywhere. All you have to do is keep an eye out for them. Anyway, that's it for today. I'm off to get an ice cream, and I'll catch you guys later.